Hello pre-prep. Well, this afternoon is an art and craft afternoon, so I hope we're going to have lots of fun. I've got a really good story for you that we're going to start off with. This is one that's always been a firm favourite in my house, and I can remember reading it to both of my children, so I hope you're going to enjoy it. Then we're going to do some painting following that, and then to finish off, I've got a rather exciting craft after activity that I think you might enjoy. So listen to the story first. It's called Sonny's Treasure Hunt. Sonny was bored. He had built houses with bricks. He had looked at all his picture books, and he had played for hours with his jumpy spider. Sonny needed someone to play with. Look, there's his jumpy spider. "Mum, will you play with me?" shouted Sonny over the noise of the vacuum cleaner. "I'm busy," shouted Mum. "You can always help me if you're bored." "Will you play with me?" Sonny asked Uncle Jim. "I'm bored." "I'm too busy doing this weeding," said Uncle Jim. "I wish I had time to be bored." What's going on in the garden there? Sonny phoned his friend Katie, but she was going to visit her auntie. "I'm bored out of my feathers," sighed Sonny as he dragged his feet into the living room where Grandma was busy knitting. "No one will play with me, Gran." Poor Sonny, he does look very, very fed up. "When I was a young duckling and had no one to play with," said Grandma, "my mum would send me on a treasure hunt." "Can I do one?" asked Sonny, looking rather excited. "Yes," cried Gran. "You stay here and I'll go and hide the treasure. No peeking." When Grandma came back, she handed Sonny a piece of paper. "Here is a picture of where the treasure is hidden." The picture was of a teapot. Sonny skipped into the kitchen. Sonny looked in the cupboard. He looked on the table. He even looked under the table. Can you spot teapot? At last he found the teapot by the sink. There it is. Inside it was his first treasure and the next clue. The picture was of a pair of red wellies, and Sonny knew where to find these. "Wow," said Sonny as he tripped them upside down and a ball bounced out onto the floor. The next clue led Sonny up to his own bed. "What are you doing?" asked Mum as Sonny looked under his bed. "Looking for treasure," said Sonny. "Ooh, can I help?" asked Mum as she started searching the bed for treasure. "Aha!" cried Mum as she found a whistle under Sonny's pillow. The next clue was a watering can. Mum and Sonny raced outside. "Stop!" yelled Mum to Uncle Jim, who was just about to fill the watering can. Mum explained the treasure hunt to Uncle Jim. "Oh, what great fun," he said as he pulled a silly paper hat from the can. "Can I join in?" Let's see. The next clue is the garden. They looked behind the bushes. They looked underneath the sunflowers. They looked behind the trees. Sonny was getting worried that everyone else would find the treasure before he did. But then suddenly Sonny yelled, "I found it! I found it! I found the treasure!" He held up a huge bar of chocolate and a bag of balloons. Everyone cheered. Sonny had had a brilliant day, but he was rather tired. "Tomorrow," said Sonny, with a beak full of chocolate, "I think I'll play all by myself. Then I can be sure I find all the treasure." Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. I think that's a lovely story. Now, the art activity I'd like you to do is I'd like you to think about where would be a really good place to hide some treasure. Now, you can pick anywhere. There were lots of clues and ideas in the story, from teapots to wellies to the garden. And I'd like you to paint or draw me a picture of where you think we could hide some treasure if we were going on a treasure hunt. And it might be that you can maybe organise your own treasure hunt with people in your house. Maybe you can put some clues out or encourage mummy or daddy to do it for you. And then you can hunt for some things too. Now, that rather fun craft activity I promised you. Well, we've been thinking about maps today, and in our story, What the Ladybird Heard, there were some maps going on, and I found a picture of a rather exciting maze that I thought you might be able to make. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do this. I've done mine with Play-Doh, but if you haven't got Play-Doh, you could do it with Lego, you could lay sticks out. There's lots of different ways that you can do it, but what I've done is I've used a baking tray, so just a normal baking tray from my kitchen, and I have stuck Play-Doh all over my baking tray. Don't know what Mr. Campbell's going to say when he comes home to cook tea. Anyway, my little maze is going to be for either you can use a marble, or I've made my ball out of a piece of tin foil because I wasn't sure if you'd have marbles at home, so I thought I'd show you a different way. And you can make your maze as elaborate as you like. And the idea is you have to feed your marble or your ball through and see if by turning your baking tray you can perhaps get it to the bottom and then all the way back up to the top to start again. So there's lots of fun to be had. You can make it as exciting as you like. If you want to challenge yourself, you can use a straw to blow it along, so that would be quite fun too. There's lots of different things, and the fun thing about this is once you've done it once, you just peel this off and do it in a different way. Maybe you will have little challenges and you can see if you can get little goals in there. So have some fun with that and send me some photos. Bye!